Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Last time we left off, we began the trial for this case once again, and it turns out that Iris has a confession to make, and apparently she was like a accomplice to the murder. She said that she was protecting Maya Fey, who killed Misty in self-defense, but it just seems very weird. I mean, then there's a couple other pieces that came up, and you just don't see Maya doing that. So let's hear more about the actual battle. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise went on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Take in consideration what the hell the battle went. It just seems kind of weird. And then that's when... Okay. Hold on a minute here. Let me take a look at the autopsy report. Let's see. Loss of blood from stab in the back. Okay, that's a contradiction, because look at the way everything is right now. Supposedly, Misty had her back to the stone lantern, and then Maya stabbed her. Doesn't really go according to the autopsy report, now does it? Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim who had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Well, yes, I think so. But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in the back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony. Oh, why? Yeah, why is she lying all of a sudden here? What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Ha! It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? Is that all you have to say? I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make any sense. Throwing away a useless staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in her stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies here. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee, and to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself! The witness was quite ambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light. By the way, did you know? The Inner Temple has a rule that on nights where an acolyte is there training, the stone lantern in the garden is to always be lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't a witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor, but according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to be nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the main training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be too difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite? No! Order! 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 Here, Your Honor. Let me present you the stone lantern's evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. You gotta love and hate the way Godot speaks. Why is the judge just sitting there with a look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern! There's something written on it! Why? It's written in blood! Oh boy! So the judge didn't know about that yet? Written in blood? It says Maya upside down! What the? Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body. Well then. It certainly looks that way. Hang on. Hang on just a minute. What are you talking about? What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. And this is when he was talking about how his eyesight's pretty bad and he can't even see everything with those goggles. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then. Let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow, I don't think it's from the caffeine overdose. I believe it's now been established that Miss Donan was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong! Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Okay, let's see what she has to say here. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of Korean tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and you did that. I used a Shishishito to alter the way she would look. The wound looked. So you moved the body. Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fey clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Donin was actually Misty Faye. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the Inner Temple after taking care of the body, but... You were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Oh boy, okay. This is just getting out of hand here. We need more information pertaining to how the hell she transported the body from where to here. Dragged it across and then she used a snowmobile to carry it back. Oh, hold on, let's do something here. The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later. Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge. This is the part that was in question. This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? Yeah, I think we should. How about the snowmobile? Let me hear more about the snowmobile ride. Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot onto the bridge.
Objection!
I'm sorry, witness, but now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? Cadeau, where are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the Inner Temple back to Hazakura Temple. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall her comments on the subject. And, well, we all remember what she said. Yep, that's where snowmobile's left. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Pretty much, I would agree right there with him. Order! Mr. Godot! Why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony? Let's just say I like things being neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she just didn't see it. You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Ha! Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just, you better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that all about? Why would Godot want to give me a hint? Very well then, let's continue with the testimony. So you transported the body by snowmobile. All the way to Hazakura Temple courtyard? Yes, I thought that way Mystic Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyway. And then Now here's what I want to do. I want to go back to the testimony again, and I want to talk more about the tracks this time around. It's usually a good idea to kind of cover all the tracks sometimes. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right? Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks. This picture was presented as yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride? Yes, I think they are. But I can only see one set of tracks here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple. I see. Snow was still falling, huh? And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why they're so fresh-looking tracks. How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony? No, I think it is very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped? That doesn't make any sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I like to present Iris's... I like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony. but does that have something to do with this case? All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Ha! This should be fun. You, let's get the snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. So now she says by the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Okay. Oops, I went ahead too much. I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? There's only one reason I can think of. Alright, let's go back here. Let's see here. Okay. So her new testimony was that... Let's see here. Her new testimony was that by the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Okay, we get that. However, she says she dragged the body, okay, across Dusky Bridge. Why wouldn't you think that there would have been other tracks? Possibly. Where the hell's that weather data at? Sometimes it's kind of hard figuring out where the hell everything... Where the hell's... Oh, damn it, I was looking for a photo, not an actual piece of paper. I'm an idiot. You claim the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50. But you couldn't have crossed the Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. What did you say? The bridge? It was on fire? You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge was burned down. What? But it can't. It can't be. It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. No! Order! 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 The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right. The inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way she could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man. Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Oh yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge is burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Lee Stoneham was discovered in the Haskira Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Lee Stoneham's body. He makes a good point, on both accounts. That's right! I'm not lying! Were you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night, so my memory is still somewhat hazy. You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now your memory of that night is hazy? Objection! It is only human to err. Or whatever you want to call it. If you're so perfect, Wright, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. Ah! Yeah, I guess he has us there. Alright then. Witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? Will it? Will it? We'll have to find out next time, guys. So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. I'll see you guys later.